What's good? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth, and today I'm going to hit y'all with a review of the new Flee Lord and Eto album, Rocamerikkka 2. Let's get to it. Two New York MCs who have some of the grimiest voices in the game have reunited for their collaborative album, Rocamerikkka 2. This is the follow-up to their very dope 2019 Rocamerikkka project. Flee Lord is an MC coming out of Far Rockaway, Queens, while Eto hails from the Hell's Roof section of Rochester, New York. Both artists have had an inexhaustible grind so far in 2020, especially Flee Lord, who drops one project per month on average, and trust me, they have all been solid. I mean, there hasn't been one lackluster album from Flee. While I'm not as familiar with all of Eto's work so far in 2020, I had heard two of his projects, The Beauty of It and Eto Brigante. I didn't get a chance to do a formal review of either, but I thought both albums were mostly good. I've always been a huge fan of the movie Carlito's Way, so I enjoyed the conceptual direction of Eto Brigante. But let's get into this Rocamerikkka 2. It was produced entirely by Eto, and let me say, the man outdid himself on the production tip. Now, because I don't follow Eto as closely as I do Flee Lord, I wanted to say that I was somewhat surprised that his production was this good. The instrumentals are dark and grimy, yet kind of smooth and polished at the same time. While I guess you could classify them as boom bap, there are no dusty samples here. Rather, there's a lot of eerie piano loops and keyboard synth-like production, which makes the beats feel slightly more modern. There is not one mid or whack beat on this 20-minute length tape. There is a cohesiveness to the sound, which I feel is more prominent on this album than their 2019 project. As far as the features go, we have Willie the Kid, G4 Jag, an artist that I've never heard before until now, and Jay Black, who I recall hearing on a Flee Lord project. In terms of the bars, Flee is giving us his typical boastful content. He's aggressive, animated, and at times amusing. While I do love Flee's energy and I think his wordplay can be sharp, he doesn't always stay on topic, and sometimes it feels like he's just rhyming words, but I think he came through with some quotable lines on this one. Eto, on the other hand, really impressed me lyrically. Now, I can only speak on the projects I've heard him rapping on, but based on those, I can confidently say that this project contains some of his best rapping. I definitely had to rewind a few verses because he was going in. Lyrically, he comes across as this streetwise philosopher. The grit in his voice makes his subject matter very believable and authentic. There's a calm yet sinister poise to his demeanor on tracks that can send a chill down your spine. This is why I think Flee Lord and Eto complement each other so well. While both have very grimy voices, Flee Lord is more straightforward and high energy, whereas Eto's delivery is more methodical and low key. But with that being said, let me hit y'all with this track by track breakdown. The opening track, Rocamerikkka 2, has a bouncy and suspenseful beat. Flee Lord tells us, don't let the movies tell you that the mobsters was Italian, although ironically there are clips from The Irishman played throughout the entire album. Eto says, won't let the back end short me. I learned it all in a day. Trust the crackhead stories. So he's really painting a visual here of street life and how sometimes you can even get some game from a fiend. I thought this was a strong opener that set the tone to let you know that you will be getting quality street music on this album. Track 2, Real Pressure, has an eerie loop, which Flee Lord best describes as spy music. This one feels like a banger. It's a dark and aggressive record. Flee talks about it snowing in the kitchen, wearing mittens and having a mask on way before Corona. Eto hits us with some wise guy like wisdom. Live by the sword, die by the stakes. Me, fed time in the mountain by the lake. And integrity is necessity. I had to compromise the bag so I could better me. It's like Eto realized that he had to leave the streets and the fast money alone so that he could grow as a person. After this, we have Triangle Offense, which has more of an atmospheric instrumental. Flee Lord proclaims that grimy beats make you feel like it's 93. Eto displays some of his ruthlessness here with lines like "War Angel, get your door mangled, feds won't get me to choke, you on the floor strangled." Willie the Kid also has a solid verse as expected. I seen it like a zenith, similar to Ace had that vision at the cleaners. Track 4 is Respect Everything featuring G4 Jag. This has probably my second favorite instrumental on the project. I love the psychedelic twang to the loop as well as the snare. Eto came through with a really strong and cinematic verse. G4 Jag said something that stood out to me. He states, "Lord Mob and Rocamerikkka, we the government. I'm the prime minister. A brother's really struggling." On the track Well Done, both Flee Lord and Eto addressed how they handle beef. Eto gave us his second best verse on the tape, in my opinion. He states, "Leniency killed me, the genius in me built me, been around the block twice, the third time still me. History repeats, to stand on my corner, you gotta sit with me at least, because I'm the defendant and you the witness in the seat. Silly me, as long as I can kill it if it bleeds." I just thought this was an impressive verse. It was very mafioso-esque, plus he was also dropping some jewels. Skip the Hassle is a simple but effective banger. I like the eerie synth loop. Eto opens the verse this time as he normally goes last. I thought it was Flee Lord who was really going in on this one. It's not like he was saying anything too crazy, but he definitely found a nice pocket and was flowing. The following track, Brigante and Delgado, has my favorite instrumental on the whole tape. I love the twinkling and bright piano loop. It's a mellower vibe for sure. Flee says some things that grab my attention, like $1 million vocal range, killer with a soldier aim. I ain't really feeling it. Y'all spitting out that Novocaine. It was simple but hard. And this loop got me zoning in the booth at the moment. The piano like the ammo as I move back opponents. So I like how Flee Lord always manages to rap about how the beat sounds to him. It's something that most artists don't usually do, but I dig it. Then we have Free the Real featuring Jay Black. The more spacious production here sounded similar to the kind that we heard on the first Rocamerikkka. This song was solid, but not one of the standouts in my opinion. It was still cool though. The second to last track, Hoodie Season, has a dark keyboard styled beat similar to the song Skip the Hassle. It's another simple but effective street record, and it does fit the vibe of the title, Hoodie Season. On the closing track, Rocamerikkka Outro, Flee Lord talks about riding dirty. He gives some advice on how to move cautiously if you should happen to ride with work in the vehicle. He states, "Ain't no smoking when we drive or drinking till we land. Keep your eyes on the road and the wheel in your hand." It just paints a picture, and I think it is relatable if you ever did this before. Some cats unfortunately get jammed up because they lack the self-discipline that is required when you are on the road. Eto closes out the track with some details on testing the product once it arrives. He also gives us some more introspective mafioso bars. Overall, I give this a rating of 4 out of 5. In terms of the beats, none of them disappoint. There is a cohesiveness sonically that I think Eto did a great job with. It's like all the beats were hard and grimy, yet there was a semi-smooth quality to them as well. At the end of the day, Eto did the damn thing on the production. Topic-wise and conceptually, it's pretty much straightforward street music, but both Flee and Eto do provide an interesting perspective on things. Well, mostly Eto, that is, as he speaks in parables frequently. It just gives you the feeling that you are listening to a wise Don speak. So if you like criminology rap and mafioso rap, then this project will definitely be right up your alley. Once again, this duo delivers. I gotta admit, I have been listening to this pretty much nonstop all week with all the stress due to the uncertainty of this presidential election. I haven't been listening to much, but when I have had the desire to hear music, it has been this album. I want to close this out by saying rest in peace to King Von. He was an artist who I recently started listening to, and I think he had quite a bit of potential. So The whole situation is whack. But my favorite tracks include Real Pressure, Respect Everything, Well Done, Brigante and Delgado, and Rocamerikkka outro. Let me know what you thought about this project in the comment section below. What should I check out next? It's your boy, Mixtape Moth. I'm signing out, but be sure to hit that like button and please subscribe. As always, it's peace and blessings. Flee Lord, Eto, Rocamerikkka 2, 1.